I picked Brady in this mock draft in the 8th round.
Yeah, Tom Brady. I think on ESPN they have him at to go 111th projected. And that goes out depending on how big your team is from the 7th to 10th round, depending on how big your league is. Sorry. And when we did that mock draft, you have Nick Foles falling down there. Guys like Russell Wilson, Jay Cutler, Phillip Rivers. Those guys are all falling lower and lower. And I think you let them keep dropping until a lot of the teams that you're going against are going to start picking quarterbacks in those first rounds, and they won't need another one until the roster's filled up. So, I mean, those guys are going to fall. Some of those guys will fall to the bottom. I think that's what you do. You pick your running backs, wide receivers, maybe you can throw a Seahawks in on the 5th round just to get a strong, if you want a defense to take over.
It's a little early on a defense, but another move I noticed was looks like a fat group of receivers that could all have the exact same level of production or all have the same chance of being good. So I think you can get solid receivers pretty late. Like a guy like Wes Welker is going late. Like Mike Wallace has big upside. He could go late. Like there's Dwayne Bowe, like the number 1 receiver. He's not great, but he is a number 1 receiver. Like these are a lot of guys you can get late.
I agree. I think the wide receiver part is that, and you got guys underdogs like Sammy Watkins could blow up this year.
Sammy Watkins could easily blow up. So it's like you have all these guys that you can get later. So the main message is try to thicken up your running back core early because you can get a solid receiving core late and you can get a good quarterback late. You can get Jay Cutler. I think Jay Cutler could have a very good year. He was one of the best. He threw a ton of – he was like top 5 in the league in touchdowns last season, and he's going like – you can get him like 12th round. So just wait on the quarterbacks, go early on the running backs, and then fill out the receiving core in between and take a quarterback late.
Agreed. And I think also if you're filling out those, if you kind of overload on those running backs and wide receivers, which it is hard to pick out which one is going to have that breakout year. You may be one of those guys will start off on your bench, and that guy will start heating up midway through the season. We never like a Josh Gordon happened last year. You never know. Some of those guys just heat up and have those seasons. And if you have them on your bench, throw them in there, and then you'll be that manager everyone wanted to be.
Yeah, there's a lot of luck involved in fantasy football, but that's what we noticed in a couple of our mock drafts so far. We're going to go back to another tweet. This is early, but it's never too early to talk Super Bowl.
Never.
So this guy goes, Robin Jimmy, do you think there's any chance of a repeat in the championship game? And if not, either one of them getting back. Basically, do we think there's any chance Seahawks and Broncos get back?
It's actually the first time I'm actually thinking about this, and that's actually a good question. There's definitely a chance. I mean, in the AFC, you really other than the Broncos and the Patriots, it's hard to think of anyone else that's a winning team that's like a guarantee to make it deep into those playoffs. And I just don't see it in the Broncos this year. I think they're going to flatten out. So I'm going to have to go. I'm thinking the Patriots are going to be the AFC winner, and I think the Patriots are going to have to be playing the Seahawks, and the Seahawks still have that core as well. Lost a few guys on the defense. Lost a few guys like Golden Tate on the offense, and those are a lot of dispensable guys. You can replace those guys, and those weren't the guys that got them there. The guys that got them there were Carroll. That defense was Sherman, and then Russell Wilson,
Lynch
at the quarterback, Marshawn Lynch. I mean, those are the guys that got him there. I think all those guys are coming back, and I think that's just going to be another team that just won't be stopped until the Super Bowl.
Yeah, there's no way I could justify saying a Seahawks-Pats Super Bowl is a bad pick. In the AFC, I'm gonna go. Well, let's start with the NFC. I've been thinking about this, and I wanted to go out on a limb a little bit, just because I think it's rare that you see the same 4 teams in the final 4 teams back-to-back years, and I think the Pats and Broncos are going to get back. So I'm going to go in the NFC. This is a bit of a wild card. I'm going to go the Saints. I like what they've done because they have that high-octane offense. But I like what they did. Defensively. Rob Ryan, I think, is a strong defensive coordinator. They went out and got Bird, the best young safety in the NFL. And if they can have a really good regular season and get the Seahawks to play in the Superdome, they have a real shot. If they are going up to Seattle, no way. If anyone goes into Seattle in the playoffs, they're losing.
Yeah, the regular season's huge in the NFC. It's going to be
because
huge.
it's like if you're going into Seattle in the postseason, you're losing.
Yeah.
And then in the AFC, there's a team I like again a lot. What they did on defense, they went out and they signed Aqib Talib, and they went out and got DeMarcus Ware, and they recognized from the Super Bowl that the spot they needed to bulk up on was their defense, and that is
What team is that?
the Denver Broncos. I'm going with the Broncos. I think Peyton Manning's going to get another ring before he's out. I don't know if it's going to be this year, but I think Peyton Manning's going to
You
get
just said it was
another
going to.
ring.
Are you saying it's going to be this year, or are you saying they're just going to make it?
I think. Well, if we're taking it a step further.
We're going to take it a step further.
Take it a step further. I'm
going
going to go Broncos.
You're going Broncos.
I'm going Broncos.
You're going.
Broncos are my Super Bowl pick. Yes.
Peyton Manning is not. He is a choke artist in these Super Bowls. That is a joke. Trust me on that. That is a joke because
So
we
you
know
going back to back for the Seahawks?
I'm going back to back with the Seahawks, and that is a lock. Put it in the books now.
It's the easy pick. Real ballsy.
It is the easy pick because it's the right pick. You don't pick the Broncos because they're not go. He went there last year against the Seahawks. So how did that end up? We're not even going to discuss this anymore.
Well,
it's going to be the Seahawks.
They're not going to be playing the Seahawks. They're going to be playing the Saints. And this guy's making some real aggressive picks. What do you? Let's go Spurs and Seahawks. Or my.
I picked the best teams.
What are we even doing here?
You pick the best teams. That's what you do. You pick the teams that
Cavs and Broncos.
It's been a great day, great night with you fellas. Thanks for all the tweets, audience. I love the hate. Bring on the hate.
Keep sending in questions. They were good tonight, and it's good tweets, good questions make for a good show.
Too big, too strong, too American, baby. Have a great night.